Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All righty. I guess you guys didn't know the Easter Bunny was going to be here, did you? Did somebody boo the Easter Bunny? Oh my gosh. Somebody needs to teach Tiger Woods how to drive, by the way. Have you guys all heard he got into another crash? My gosh. Rolled over today. 2 minutes. No. You are in charge of the music.
This is Cape Coral Talk Radio. And now, broadcasting live from Hooked Island Grill in the heart of downtown Cape Coral, here are the hosts of Cape Coral Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Yeah, thank you all very much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for that round of applause. We appreciate it very much. We are, thank you, Amy. We broadcast live every Friday night from Hooked Island Grill here in Cape Coral, and we bring you information and hopefully a little entertainment on a Friday night. We have a great lineup of guests tonight. Amy Ginsburg will be with us shortly, then Sean Hartman, who's running for city council. But first, we always, I don't know, make sure your mic is on. Is your mic on, Cheyenne? You talk into it first.
Hello.
I think,
Nobody bigger than the Easter Bunny is
Yeah.
here. That's amazing.
yeah, and we'll make sure. Are we good now?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
I'm going to give you my mic.
Why? No, it's fine.
I'll be quick.
Yeah. So Cheyenne, you're the manager here at Hooked Island Grill, correct?
Yes, I am.
And who did you bring with you this evening?
We do have a special guest here. This is our Easter Bunny. He wanted to help me promote our Easter brunch buffet. So we thought we'd bring him on the camera.
All right. And so that's going to be obviously Sunday, Easter Sunday.
Correct. April 5th.
Right. So you've got another, and then it'll be Easter Sunday. And what are you having? What is on the fare?
Yeah, so we're going to do an all-you-can-eat 2-hour seating limit with a ham and New York loin that will have a chef there hand carving each meat. Then you'll have your breakfast novelties. You'll have scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, waffles, chicken tenders, oatmeal, grits, roasted red potatoes. And then we'll have a couple of non-breakfast items, the raw seafood bar, some vegetables, some mac and cheese, some biscuits, and a lot of pastries and desserts for sure on the menu.
And there's 3 seatings, correct?
Yeah, so we have 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2 p.m.
Sweet. Awesome.
Oh, you're
And
on.
Yes.
there you go. And
Yeah.
he's back. And so it's all you can eat. You get a whole 2 hours to stuff yourself.
Uh-huh.
And how much is it?
So the price is $75 for adults, but we are taking $15 off if you reserve in advance.
Okay.
So in addition to that, for the children, $25, but $5 off if you reserve in advance. So $60 is a pretty good deal when you think about everything coming with it.
Yeah.
And 2 hours of it. I mean,
2 hours.
how much do you think you could pack away in 2 hours?
I prefer not to. No offense to anybody, but I prefer not to go to buffets because I feel like I have to go up to the buffet like 3 or 4 times and make
And-
sure I eat everything. So
I know,
I
but
can
that-
pack down a lot at a buffet. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about a buffet, because then you get to try a little of this and try a little of that. And
Yeah. When you're addicted to buffets, the best thing to do is not go to one. So
Oh,
I prefer
stop.
not to go
He
to
knows
one.
it.
we
His
want
limit.
everybody here to
Then you're
buffet it
stuffing.
out.
Then I'm stuffing things in my pants and my shirt to make sure I haven't. I got my.
Justifying the
Yeah,
purchase.
yeah,
for sure.
you cannot take it home though, folks. You come and you eat. You can't take a whole tray of food home.
No, you
And
can
so-
take the memories home from
That's
the buffet
right.
with you. That is the best thing.
Yeah, and you can see the Easter Bunny and
The
we'll-
Easter Bunny. We have a live pianist. He's 35 years experience in classical music.
Oh, cool.
Larry Lay. He's phenomenal. We're
Amy,
really
do you know
excited.
Larry Lay? I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Amy's into
He plays
classical
at,
music big time.
Corkscrewers or something around here. I'm pretty
Cork
sure.
soakers.
Cork soakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The one.
I thought she
place
said
know.
corkscrewers. Did you
I
say
do.
corkscrewers?
I did.
I don't know either one of them. So
I know there's
how
a
did you know
corkscrew
cork
road.
soaker?
A long time ago, I came over here with some friends.
Get out of here.
I'm not.
That was totally behind my
I'm
back.
serious. Oh, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind your back. I visit a lot of buffets as well behind your back.
So will the Easter Bunny be taking pictures with kids? And
We will.
Nice,
I will
nice.
actually have someone going around taking photos, and obviously with consent, all will be on our Facebook page. So
Yeah.
the photos we take from the event will be released on Facebook with the Easter Bunny.
I know you also want to mention Chasing Denver, very popular
Oh,
a
yeah.
duo that
Absolutely.
play all over Southwest Florida, and they're going to be performing here, I think.
Yeah, April 15th, we have them coming. It's a Wednesday, I believe, 6 p.m. And we're really excited. We already had 7 people booked for the room today. So I definitely would encourage you guys to get your table while you can. They're a hot band and a great couple.
Yeah, that's going to pack the house.
Packed.
So I would call ahead for that one. If you expect to
Mhm.
show up at the last minute, that's not going to be a good idea for Chasing Denver. They are
No.
very popular around here.
Very
so.
popular.
All right.
Does the Easter Bunny want to say anything? Every Easter Bunny that I've ever seen in my entire, they never say anything. They're always very quiet.
Yeah, I know you're joking around that you're going to
Yeah.
ask the Easter Bunny to say something.
Why?
No,
Because
I
they're
think
not-
this Easter Bunny has a
It's
good
like
hop,
Santa.
a
It's
good
like,
hop away though.
Santa
he could
Claus
do.
No,
talks.
Santa Claus talks, but the Easter Bunny doesn't. Never says anything. It's not supposed to.
Mm-mm.
No, that would be creepy. Be weird. Be the Easter bunnies don't talk.
Yeah,
Thank
bunnies
you,
don't
Amy.
talk.
Jeez, come
They
on.
hop. They don't talk.
And they look this big all the time too, right?
Mhm.
this
That is-
tall. This
That is
tall.
a nice blue jacket he has
tall.
there. All right,
This is very
Cheyenne. Well,
dapper
thank you for
Dan.
coming
yeah,
on.
That's all we have here at Hookton. We appreciate the time.
Cheyenne's going to be on every Friday if she's here at 5:00 to tell you exactly what's going on. We want you guys to follow Hooked Island Grill on Facebook and Instagram. Do you have a TikTok?
We do. Hooked Island Grill,
Yeah.
Southwest Florida.
I've never been on TikTok before, but that's
You
because I'm
bring it
60.
up all the time. I don't know what your
Yeah.
fascination
It's
is.
a doom
with it.
scroll you can avoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you, guys.
Cheyenne.
Thank
Big hand
you.
for Cheyenne. All righty. And Hooked Island Grill is
And the Easter Bunny. You forgot to say thanks
Easter
to the
Bunny.
Easter Bunny.
Yes. Thank you, Easter Bunny.
We appreciate
Appreciate
you
that.
hopping on over here.
All right. Our next guest is going to tell us all about a brand new arts alliance that is forming here in Cape Coral. And we may get a little bit into the history of her life. Amy Ginsburg, everybody, is our next guest here. Amy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having
We
me.
appreciate you
Yes.
coming on. I saw that there was a new organization being formed about the arts here in Cape Coral, so we wanted to talk to you about that. But you do have some interesting history. You were telling us about your mom's parents.
Well,
work-
first of all, how long have you
Yeah.
been in the Cape?
Yeah, we'll start there. I have been in Cape Coral for 46 years.
Wow.
Long time.
Long time. You came here as you must have been in the womb at that time.
Well, you're very sweet. Yeah. No, I came here on vacation. My grandparents had a house here. They bought in the late 70s. My parents decided they didn't want to deal with Philadelphia weather anymore. So down we came. And but even prior to that, my dad's family was invited to invest in the Cape before it was the Cape. They chose not to. I ended up here anyway. And
so they came down from the Rosens. They
Yep.
came down.
Yeah.
So way back in the beginning.
Yeah, it was I think it was like 65.
Did they ever kind of go, oh, we should have?
No.
They didn't.
No, they were in real estate and banking in the Northeast. And I think they were perfectly satisfied. They knew the environment up there. So rather than jump into the unknown, but my family ended up here anyway. So
why
that's
did you
crazy.
decide to stay? What you've been here for so long? Why did you decide to stay here in this city?
Wow. Why did I decide to stay? It's a when you're here as a kid, you kind of have to stay.
Mhm.
But I jokingly say that Cape Coral and I have an arranged marriage. I wasn't real happy about it. I was forced to walk down the aisle, but then you eventually fall in love with.
That's exactly my situation, Amy.
Oh my God.
Aw, so I feel you. Yeah.
So you love it here.
I do love it here now.
Now, did you leave and then come back, or did you
No,
go to school here?
I went to
and
school here. I stayed. Yeah, I
Nice.
stayed, and I've just watched this place grow and grow. And you have your fights with your arranged spouse every once in a while. And it's like, that's it. I'm getting out of here. But
Mhm.
then you cool off and realize, frankly, how great we all have it. The weather is amazing. It's affordable to live here. It feels like vacation all the time. And there's a ton to do, and there's a ton of opportunity to make things grow here.
So the other question I had for you was,
Is it about her personal life, or were you moving?
yeah, I
on?
had one more question that I wanted to ask you, but you see, I'm on gabapentin,
gabapentin.
and they say it causes dementia, and I swear I've been on it for like a week now,
Oh no!
and I'm already forgetting things. It's like I had
You
one
can
more
taper off
question
that
for you.
stuff.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
no,
just
can
saying.
I tell you? I think this stuff is working. Like I had really bad back pain, and I was trying everything, and now I got this inversion machine, and I'm taking these drugs, and I think they're working.
Taking these drugs.
This gabapentin, whatever it is.
I really like this radio show.
Yeah.
You can talk about anything.
And
Oh,
people-
yeah, it's wide
yeah.
open.
And people, as the minute I posted on our other Facebook page on the beach that I was taking it, there was like 300, 400 comments. There's like half the world is taking this drug, and some guy was taking it for 16 years. And so this was the first time I had ever heard of it. And I'm sad to tell you, I think it's working. So,
Well, you want something to work.
but I didn't want the pain was brutal. Like
Yeah.
you can't even drive for 15 minutes. So,
Did you think of your question?
no, not at
Okay.
all. So,
So-
go ahead.
When we were talking earlier, and you just said about things going on in the Cape, but there is a need for some other things, some arts and entertainment, and that's sort of what led you to create. Is it CAN?
The acronym is CAN. We're
Okay.
called Cape Arts Network. There is an arts and culture and entertainment presence in the Cape, but we're all pretty siloed. So it's hard to find out what's going on any given night or afternoon because we're not collaboratively promoting what we do. So the city of Cape Coral had the foresight to bring us together at the Economic Development Office. Everybody from nonprofit arts leaders to people who are in for-profit arts and entertainment, like I am, some of the government players, and we sort of tried to figure out what we needed here to create a vibrant arts, culture, and entertainment destination because we do so much else. And that's the one thing that is really lacking here. So a handful of us came together and came up with Cape Arts Network. We are essentially an arts alliance where we create, connect, and raise the profile of arts, culture, and entertainment So you'll be seeing a lot more from that group as far as things to do that are both family friendly, that are more parents' night out kind of thing. But we will keep everyone busy when the sun goes down.
Who were some of the other people that were in the group and first of all, who had the foresight at the city to call the meeting, and who were some of the other people that were in that meeting?
So the Economic Development Office called the meeting. Sharon Woodbury was there.
She works for the city?
So she is the executive director of the Economic Development Office. So they called the meeting. There were tons of people there. That initial meeting, I can't even remember how many people were there, but the people who really wanted to roll up their sleeves were the folks over at Cape Coral Art Studio and David Acevedo, who is also involved with the Alliance for the Arts in Fort Myers, but is a Cape Coral resident. So it made perfect sense for him to be involved. Beverly Fox, who is a local jeweler, also connected to the art studio. So those are the officers of Cape Arts Network.
And do you meet once a month? Like, are you putting out a newsletter? Like, how is that going to work?
So we met, the initial meeting was in the summer. We have very recently incorporated. It was the middle of February. We await our nonprofit status. We have a placeholder website. So yes, there will at some point be a newsletter and some kind of publication advising on what there is to do in the Cape.
Why do you need to have an alliance?
Because that's the table we can all come to, so that we can collectively support one another's efforts.
To be more organized, get the word out more about all the different things that are going on. From like some of the things that are going on in the arts area would be what?
Cape Coral, those of you who aren't aware, has the city owns a theater, and Cultural Park Theater is a theater group. It's community theater out in Northwest Cape in Cultural Park. We have a cultural park. How many people know that there is a cultural park in Cape Coral? Thank you. Good. Okay. Well, now the rest of you know, and we hope you will share that information. They have lovely theater out there. There's a museum of history on that property. Cape Coral has a museum of history. How many of you knew about that?
I didn't know that. I'm learning everything. Everything you're telling me, I'm learning. I didn't know there was a theater. Is it inside or outside?
I don't know.
The theater is inside. It's 145 people. It's available for rental. They have a concession stand.
You can rent the people?
You can rent the people? No, you
can
rent the place.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we allow.
I don't think
that in
that's
the
legal.
States.
Are they working on an amphitheater over there?
They are not currently working on an amphitheater,
Okay.
but I reached out to other folks at city government today so that we can start talking about a performing arts venue of some sort. That's something the city just does not have.
Is that something one of the candidates is getting behind that they can help push it? Or
my friend Rachel Kaduk and I are going to make sure that happens.
I see.
Yes.
She gets things done.
Yes, she does.
Or she yells at people for not getting them done.
I love it. She's my hero. Are you kidding? I'm going to the school of Rachel Kaduk.
All righty. So are you going to organize meetings? Like you have meetings coming up so that people can get organized? Because I think at least one person in the audience here with a black shirt on wants to get organized. Not you, Sean.
Okay, absolutely. So because we are pending nonprofit status, we don't have official email addresses yet. If you go to cutthecord.live, CHORD, that's my company's website. My email address is there. Shoot me an email and we'll let you know how you can get involved.
Will you be putting together a board after that?
Well, the board is already together.
Who's on the board?
We have, it's me, Beverly Fox, David Acevedo, Rena Schlager. I'm trying to picture around the table. I didn't bring the board list with me. There are 15 of us.
Wow. Are you the board president?
I was elected board president.
Very nice. Very nice. And so you'll have another meeting when?
We are meeting. We're meeting on Monday to create a programs calendar. So we're, as soon as we have the city's program calendar, because we want it to complement the city's, not compete with. So we're planning programs for the coming year on Monday. And creating our marketing plan that day as well.
What
And
programs do you plan on having?
so the city of Cape Coral has that art and music fusion walk that happens a couple of times a year. And, the city is trying to run a city. And so they want people who are versed in these types of events to run them.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Todd King, the special events director, that we would take it over for him. And we will partner with the city. They'll provide infrastructure and we'll provide.
But you'll do the
event.
organizing.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, and that'll take that off the city's plate, so they don't have to worry about it. I think that's a great idea.
yeah.
They do a lot of events that maybe they could have, taken off their plate so that they could focus on some of the other stuff. Like, they do 5K events. I don't know if the city needs to be in charge of 5K events. They're great events, but
Right.
that's staff time, and that, but what do I know?
Right.
But it sounds like a great idea that you're taking those events that they built up over years that are successful that can now be passed off to a 501c3.
Right. And we'll enhance those. And certainly we want feedback from the community, what the community feels is missing, because that's what we'll fill in a program calendar with.
What do you think is missing?
Well, I personally wish there was a lot more live music here.
Yeah.
I realize that a space for it is a challenge.
Right.
But the city owns a fantastic stage.
Where?
It's a portable stage.
Oh, it's
so
not-
yeah, they literally have to construct it and tear it down. Oh, they use it for lots of events.
Is there?
What a place for a band shell.
Yeah,
like
I haven't
that.
been to
Yeah.
all the parks,
Yeah.
but when you go to downtown Fort Myers, where we did a 5K for the cops and joggers, they have that outdoor stage there. That's beautiful. Is
Yeah.
there a park in Cape Coral that you
That
might
could-
be able to have a stage like that you know of without upsetting all the neighbors?
It's yeah, right. And that's been part of the conversation is
Sure.
how to keep the surrounding community happy, not encroach on their quality of life. So there are spaces, and we're in the very, very beginning stages of discussing where either an amphitheater or an enclosed theater would make sense.
Well, there is a bunch of empty space at the yacht club that's never going to be developed, so you might as well put a band stage there.
But right, if a developer wants to come in and work with us, I've got the connections to acoustical engineers, and so if a developer comes in and works with experts in the field of performing arts and visual arts, we can make sure that we have a state-of-the-art primo theater.
Sure.
On the water.
If you could have your pick, where do you think the best place for something like that would be? Would it be the yacht club?
So that's a little bit of a loaded question because Cape Coral is so geographically big.
Yeah.
So it's where Cultural Park is really deserves some love.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
Tom is watching. He said, what about promoting phase 2 for Festival Park to get an amphitheater before 2030? Maybe the 2030 thing was a kind of a dig, but is there a plan to put an amphitheater? Oh, okay. Maybe Sean could talk more about that. I don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot. Maybe you didn't
Right.
know that or don't know that.
Oh
but-
no, I do know
Okay.
that. Again, we're in the very, very beginning stages of discussing where it makes sense.
Does that make sense to you, that park?
That is a potential place that makes sense.
Gotcha.
But if you look at Cape Coral Parkway, 47th Terrace, this is cool. I live on this side of town.
Yeah, there's nowhere to
Mhm.
put a.
There's nowhere to put it, and B, I can walk places faster here now. There is so much traffic and so much getting shoehorned into the South Cape. That love needs to get spread.
Yeah, and there is a
Right.
lot of live music at the bars and restaurants, but it's different than having a mini concert or a
Right.
big concert at a. I think they still have it. We were exercising over at the Estero Park over there. That's a beautiful stage they have at that
Mhm.
park, but it's not. There's no neighbors around where it's got to be a
It's a big
concern with the
park,
neighbors.
yeah.
Same thing with the one in Fort Myers. So I get that. It's like JC Park is going to be beautiful, but it's probably too close to neighbors to have a
Right.
stage where you're blasting music off the water. It's bouncing off the water and all that. So.
We talked about that actually, and it's not even just the noise; it's the being able to get people in and out
of
of
there.
I
that.
see.
Yeah, there's not enough parking,
I see.
and it's just a hazard.
Let's see. Gloria's watching too. The plan includes an amphitheater for Festival Park. So look, maybe we can all get behind that and see how that's going.
We'd
And-
love it.
Yeah.
We would love it.
Yeah. So, what else should people know about what you're putting together here, Amy, with all your free time?
With all the free time, what else should you know? We, though we have a board that's just about full, we are seeking committee members. So if you have time, talent, or treasure to share, we need people to help with marketing and public relations and fundraising and program ideas and anything that any nonprofit board would need. There are committees that
Sure.
are formed where we need support.
And will you have a website soon? I know you're just in the beginning stages, but when might it be ready?
So we have a slate up there now, and it's so funny because as I was getting ready to come down here, I'm like, yeah, we got to get that website up.
Just so people
So
can
probably I would say in the next 30 days we'll have something.
Are you waiting
there.
until you get your 501(c)(3)?
No,
status?
we have the we own the name capeartsnetwork.org. And again, there's a slate up there. What we're waiting
when
for.
you say slate, what does that mean?
It's just a placeholder.
I got you.
Yeah.
But you have a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page. We have Instagram. I don't know how to use TikTok either. So
Good,
if
thank you.
anyone's
Yeah.
got
Thank you.
kids who want to
Yeah.
help us with the TikTok,
So if you go to Cape Arts Network, did you say .com?
.org.
.org.
Mhm.
Does that page forward to your Facebook page right now to keep people?
No, we don't have because again, it's just a placeholder. So, but you can visit us at Cape Arts
Facebook.
Network on Facebook and on Instagram.
And there's probably an email on the Facebook page that people
Well,
can reach you.
Yeah, it's my email address
All
right
right,
now.
Cool.
So
well, Facebook page is good. I mean,
Yeah.
most old farts like us are on Facebook, so you
it's how we stalk our
yeah.
kids. Yeah,
No, that's not.
that's right.
I think the Snapchat is how you stalk
Oh,
our daughter.
yeah.
Right? That's
Oh,
the
my
whole thing.
kids blocked me. I can't. That's not funny.
It's
I'm
not.
I'm concerned for their safety.
How old are your kids?
32 and 21.
Okay, well, yeah, I would
They still
block
need
you
to be
too.
parented. Hey,
So I don't even know what Snap.
thank you.
Is Snapchat the one where you get a picture and then it disappears so,
Yeah.
so the
Yes.
government can't find it? I
But
see.
Or
you
your
can
parents.
save it. I mean, you can save it.
Yeah.
I screenshot when I was seeing my kids. I was screenshotting stuff and being like, "Should you be putting that up there?"
Yeah, very interesting. So before you go, you have a unique job. Like you're the only person that has this job.
I'm
on.
not even sure we still understand it.
There
so-
can't be any other person on this planet that has your job.
Yes, there are definitely other people. This is a big planet.
Yeah, it is a big planet. Yeah.
So I own Cut the Cord Entertainment, which is a talent management and booking agency for classical crossover artists, and I am an orchestra contractor. So when
That's a
touring,
big business card right there.
it's a bit. Well, yeah, it's a yes. It's a.
What is classical crossover?
So you know how when you listen to popular
doesn't.
music, okay, so you know what music is though.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Amy. You
Okay.
fit right in here, Amy.
So you will hear orchestral accompaniment to some popular music.
Like Zach Brown, he has a violinist in it. Is that a crossover artist?
So that would be if a popular artist was seeking an orchestral musician, some of them will come to people like me and say, this is
Hey,
this
we're
is
doing
I
a
see.
show here. We need somebody.
that's for live.
Listen,
yes.
I am an award-winning trumpet player. So
No.
if you ever need some trumpet accompaniment, please give me a call.
I got
Don't add him to your
Yamaha
list.
trumpet sitting
Yes.
in my
So did we.
oh
I'll
Never
tell you,
mind.
to be honest with you, I've always wanted to play the Star Spangled Banner on the trumpet. So I went on Amazon and bought one. And the minute I started playing it, the dogs lost their mind. So until all three of the dogs die, I can't play the planet again.
this does just go anywhere.
One's pretty
Just start.
close. One of our dogs is
Yeah,
pretty
one of
close.
our actually, I'm going to put her. We have an English bulldog that is going to be 14 years old in May.
Yes.
God bless.
Yes.
I know.
It's like
And
the oldest bulldog on
she's
this
like,
big planet.
She's getting very close to being in the upper echelon of very few bulldogs. So I have to post her picture
Yeah.
I'm
Nobody
afraid to
cares.
wait until May when her birthday is.
So I need to find a place to, when you get the theater built, I need to come down and practice the trumpet so I can, I would love to be the trumpet player when the 250-foot flag goes up. That would be
There's
dream,
not, there's not
dream of
enough time for you to learn that.
the dream of a lifetime. It can't
That's
be
a
that hard.
conversation for
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah, that'll take that flagpole down real quick.
It'll kill 19 dogs that are living in the neighborhood too. All right, Amy. Anything else you want people to know about?
No,
You
that's
should get
it.
your own podcast. You're great at this.
Yeah, you're very good.
I don't know how to do a podcast.
Do you play
You
any
just did
music?
one.
Do you play an instrument?
I used to. So I played the cello growing up. I
Oh.
stopped really
It
playing.
sounds so elegant.
Yes.
I played the cello.
Yeah, I still have one. I just don't play it anymore.
Hmm.
I was pretty young when I stopped playing. And I did what all music nerds do. I dabbled in being in a band, and I played guitar, and I said, all the stuff we do in high school.
Yeah,
Like a rock and roll band?
Yeah.
Wow.
when I was growing up,
That's quite a crossover.
my parents wanted to punish me for some reason and made me go to music class and take the clarinet, and that was not very masculine at the time. And
I think
took
a clarinet is fine.
It's not for a guy.
A piccolo. That's not going to work.
Not for a fat boy going to class.
I love that you just said that.
Yeah. So, what did you say?
A piccolo.
Is that what the little tiny?
That is a
reed?
small flute.
Yeah.
It is it's a
Anyway, so the
We'll go
clarinet
with that.
thing.
I'm
didn't work
letting it
out.
all go.
Actually, I was in it.
I am letting it all
I
go.
was there. What do you call that thing when all the kids get together on stage and they play their instruments and the parents come and watch? Like, what is that called?
not a recital,
What
but
is that called?
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. We had one of those things where all the nerds with the clarinet sit in one section and all the what is it? Yeah, it was some kind of band thing, and all the football players are playing the
This is what
drums
I'm
in the
working
back.
with.
And and there's like you play 4 or 5 songs, and I had to do this and pretend the whole time like I was playing because I didn't learn.
Nobody
any
cares about
music.
my cookie dog story, but I'm sure they're
Yeah.
riveted
I
by
can't-
your
honestly,
clarinet stories.
With my dementia caused by these drugs I'm taking, I can't believe I remembered that story.
Maybe it's all the air you lost trying to blow the piccolo.
I was pretending the whole time, like the reed was completely dry by
that's
the
what they
song.
call tacit.
Is that what they call?
Yes.
I need.
Yeah.
Yes, I need to learn the clarinet just to round this circle here.
Somebody
So-
help me out here.
I got you. I'm here.
All right,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Well, thank you
Thank
so much for
God.
coming on. We appreciate your time and good luck with the Arts Alliance. And please let us know how we can help.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you
right.
so much for inviting
Big
me.
hand for Amy
Arts
Ginsburg,
Network.
everybody from the
Cape
Arts
Arts Network.
Network. Thank you. Big hand for
They
Amy
can
Ginsburg.
do it.
All right. Well, that was fun. Every
Don't
time we have
trip.
somebody, don't trip over that. Hey, Sean, come on up. And whatever you do, Sean, do not trip
Do
over
not
the stage.
trip.
You don't. Come on.
No, not you, not him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Hartman is running for the Cape Coral City Council, and he's all dressed up for tonight's show.
I'm wearing the community fridge shirt, but I had to. It's technically on backwards, but I wanted to make sure the logo was on.
Yes.
Oh.
But I'm
Well, see,
making-
it goes either way.
Yeah.
Let me
Sean,
just
keep
right
that
there.
microphone.
But I just wanted to say, yep. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
keep
Okay,
it
perfect.
Right there, the whole show.
I just wanted to say, Amy, I definitely want to help and be on some of those committees, and I'd love to help set up a podcast for you if that's something you are wanting to do. I've done a few podcasts before as well, so I'd love to assist with that. I think it'd be a good thing for the Arts Network. I am a former theater kid myself.
Oh,
so
really?
it's one-
I was
actually,
going to say, did you ever play a musical
I
instrument?
played piano, but I was a big theater kid. So I actually a few years ago was in one of the Cultural Park theater plays. I think it was
yeah.
a visit to a small planet, and it was this very hilarious comedy.
I love that comedy.
It
You
was
don't
so
know
great.
it.
I
Don't-
was the farmer.
Were you
There
wearing
was a-
overalls?
I
or
was wearing overalls. I
Did
had
you
no-
wear a straw
I
hat?
did not get a straw hat. No, but
Oh,
it was
you
a
got
very
ripped
physical
off.
role. I got to really play. It was so much fun, and I hadn't done theater in so many years, and it was happenstance really. I was volunteering with the Brotherhood of Heroes for another event, and Michael Moran, who recently retired but has been the director there for as far back as anyone can remember, really. But he was. I approached him about possibly do an idea for a play that I had, and before I could even ask my question, he was like, "Do you want to be in a play?" And this is like 6 weeks before showing. So I had to learn my
Wow.
lines in like 6 weeks, and thankfully I did. And it was so much fun. And hopefully after I get elected, I can audition for another play.
You won't
Oh,
have
don't worry.
time.
You'll be
Absolutely,
acting.
I
You'll
will,
be
absolutely.
acting.
Well, what is politics but acting in a
Right.
different light?
Yeah.
Right. So you wrote a play?
I had an idea for a modern day version of Socrates' The Apology.
Oh, I
Wow.
love that.
With the Socrates character being Donald Trump. So it was a political satire, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it because it was a political satire, since it's a public theater.
Yeah.
But
Gotcha.
it was an idea just brewing in my head. But I am a writer as well. I'm like 75% done with a novel.
Really?
I love writing.
What's the novel about?
It's an alternate history political thriller. It imagines what a society where feudalism still exists in modern day, and it deals with a political conference of the different monarchs of Europe to try to event a global war. And so it's a diplomatic political thriller, and it's just been in my head for like several years. And
Really?
So I've been writing it over the past few years. I've taken a break to really focus on my campaign. But it's I have the outline for it, and I just have the final chapters and stuff to spruce up, and hopefully after I get elected, it's something I can publish and get done and take some
You know,
time to-
you're saying after I
Wow.
get elected, like you are 100% sure you're going to win, but I guess you have to be that way.
you have
right?
to be confident, and I'm sure my friends who are running against me, and I have a very good relationship with the two candidates running against me. I'm sure they think the same thing, that they have the confidence
Yes.
that they can win. But I really do have the confidence that I can win, especially after we had a very successful campaign kickoff a few weeks ago. I know you
Yeah,
saw-
tell us about that. How
It
did
wa-
that go?
It was amazing, and it was very humbling. Someone like me, you don't really see people like me run for office, people who work in customer service, people on the spectrum in general, but just like people like me, I don't really run for public office. You usually see businessmen and realtors and probably more successful people than I, at least financially. But to have the support that I have from people like Commissioner Mullica and Councilwoman
Yeah, that
Lehman,
was a nice nod.
I was so humbled by that. Me and David have a strong relationship going way back. Like I said, his son being on the spectrum and me being on the spectrum.
Mhm.
For him to say like I taught him more than I know, that was just I almost was crying.
Yeah, I
had to
can
really
hear it
put-
in your voice. You're a
It
little
was-
choked up.
It was a very emotional night, and it's very humbling to know that I have the support. I thank God every day, because it's really, I can't do this without him. And the fact that I have all these people who are willing to be there for my campaign and support my campaign. We successfully raised over $3,000 that night, and I have
Nice.
another $1,000 check coming in. And so we're starting out strong this quarter. I'm very excited. So I have confidence that I can win, and I'm very humbled by that someone like me could actually win this.
All right, Sean,
All right.
we only have a half hour. So
Yeah.
you're
We're
gonna
going to
have-
launch into these
let's
topics.
get
Now,
into
the
these
tough
questions.
questions.
You're gonna have
Of course.
to.
You
you're
ready?
gonna have to
Let's do
keep
it.
your answers a little bit short, because
Okay.
Oh, man.
So you're wearing a shirt that says "Save the Community Fridge." It was
Yep.
a big topic at the council meeting on Wednesday. But the fact of the matter is she can't go back to what it was. I mean, there's no way that if the city follows through with the codes and following the codes and the zoning, there's no way you can go back to an open refrigerator. And I'm not criticizing what she does. Obviously, what she does is a great thing, and people benefit from it. But you can't go back now
Yeah.
because it's public. It's been out there, and there's a code violation. So how in your opinion does it get fixed?
So first off, what Deanna is doing is a great thing for our community, and we should be supporting her. What I proposed, and I told council this at that meeting, is we need to change the rules. So council members have the ability to propose resolutions. They can propose resolutions. In this case, meet with the city attorney to
What
make sure-
rules do you want them to change?
Well, I would want there to put a specific rule that allows for community fridges. Puts guidelines on there. It should only be limited to commercial spaces. There should be guidelines and enforcement for safety and cleanliness, similar to what.
My question, Sean, is how can you keep a refrigerator open 24 hours a day? How do you get past the health department?
Well, first off, Dion has been able to successfully do it, and I believe that having some sort of posting on there, like an at-risk disclaimer, if you're going to be going there, you're doing so at your own risk. I think that's the best way in terms of the liability issue for Dion, and that's a separate situation that not only Dion, but anyone who would want to do a community fridge would have to consider. But what I would want to see in terms of what the city council can do right now is propose a resolution to change the rules to allow for community fridges and create safe guidelines to allow for safety and cleanliness and enforcement mechanisms. And another recommendation, and something that has continuously been brought up, is putting some sort of enclosure around it.
Mhm.
Okay.
You know, and she has even said that there are people who have been offered to donate for that. So
But
that is
there's
another.
I don't think she would pay a penny to get anything fixed around there if it fit into the rules. But it just appears to me, I have never spoken to her, but it appears to me that she wants it the way it was, and that's the only thing she wants.
So let's be clear as to why she wants it the way it was, though. She wants something accessible 24 hours a day.
Right.
So that's really, it's not even really having to do with outside or inside. It really has to do with how do we make it accessible 24 hours a day.
Well, can you put an enclosure around it?
That's where I think the enclosure is another option. It might be even a quicker.
But I think that's a zoning issue. Then it becomes a zoning issue. It seems like there's a code violation now, and it becomes a zoning issue at some point that doesn't fit into that zone.
So that's, again, why you would need to create some sort of universal rule that I wouldn't say goes above zoning, but applies to all zones.
All right. So let's say your suggestion goes through, and there's this resolution that it's called the community fridge resolution.
Yep.
And now there's 100 community fridges all over Cape Coral. There are 24 hours. People can put food in, take food out. I mean, that's what you're creating now.
I doubt that you're going to have hundreds. And again, as long as they are safe and clean and that's enforced, I don't necessarily see an issue with that as long as it's safe and clean. But I doubt you'll see like 100. You may see some businesses in certain areas do it, but I expect maybe 4 or 5. I don't really expect that much if that ends up being the case.
So somebody puts in. Everybody's been great at this one. There's been no problems, no issues. I've never heard of one.
Yeah.
But so somebody puts in some bad food, by accident or whatever, didn't know. Somebody takes it out, eats it, and gets sick, and then everybody's going to get sued. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The disclaimer on the refrigerator isn't going to mean crap. Everyone's going to get sued.
So again, that's the liability that individual businesses have to consider when doing this. Dion, I'm sure, has considered that. And is taking that risk. And so, again, I'm not a lawyer, and that's laws that really the city has no control over. I really want to focus on what the city can do in terms of the code violation, and then all of the liability stuff that has to be determined by those individual businesses. And you may see most businesses decide that the liability issue is too great, that they're not even going to take advantage of a community fridge. Yeah. But again, what I'm trying to do is figure out what's the best way for
this one to go
exactly.
forward.
And I think the way to do it is to change the rules.
It did sound like Jennifer tried to go to different council member Lastra did try to go to a couple of different, including the caring center, and nobody wanted the liability. There is liability with that. So anyway, I don't want to talk about the one issue for the whole show.
Yeah, of course.
Because there are other issues. Let's just jump to the yacht club.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're obviously you're going to get elected. So and remind everybody what district it is.
I'm in District 1, which does include the yacht club, and I grew up at the yacht club.
All right, slow down now. District 1 is now who's in that seat is
that is currently Bill Stanky.
Bill Stanky. He's announced he's not running. I'm a little fishy on whether or not that's going to be true by the deadline. And so the other folks that are running against you are?
Tom Senator and Monica Shintani, I believe, are the other two candidates.
Yes, all right. So 3 candidates for Bill's seat. And so that means in August there's going to be a primary, and then the top 2 from whatever number it is will run in the general election in November. So the yacht club is in that district. And how much money are you willing to spend on the yacht club, and on what items?
So I really want to mainly focus on bringing the beach back, and of course the boathouse back. The beach, the boathouse, and the marina, I think those are the 3 main amenities. From my understanding, that's going to take about $88 million. So I'm willing to spend, with inflation, close to maybe $100 million, half of what we're spending now at the 225.
To get those 3.
To get those 3, yeah.
What about the parking garage?
The parking garage, I've never really been a fan of. From my understanding, the parking garage was basically a loan to pay for the parking garage. And so if that's the case, then the parking was like collateral for the loan, which is being used to pay for the parking garage.
Annette, who's running for different districts, said last week 100% the parking garage because there's not enough parking.
Yeah, I understand that from a revenue standpoint. I'm still not the biggest fan of it. I'm not necessarily a no on it.
Yeah.
But I think my main priority is getting that beach back up and running, the marina and the boathouse. Those were the main draws in that area. When it comes to the ballroom, that is something I would like to see some sort of structure back up there, because that is where, and this is what people need to understand, the yacht club has a historical significance to our community. So I am willing to spend money to bring it back up to where it was, but I'm not willing to spend more to bring in more.
Okay, so how much?
So 100 million is your,
I don't necessarily want to put a firm cutoff on anything, but I don't really want to spend. I want to spend as little as possible. I want to, 100 to 150 million would probably be where I'd be.
All right,
be
100 to 150
comfortable.
million. Where's the money coming from?
So the money, in this case, we may have, if we do have to do the parking garage, we could do the parking garage, and that is, of course, the most difficult area. I don't have.
You said 100 to 150 million on whatever items you want to see at the yacht club. Where's the money coming from?
So, from my understanding, right now we don't have the parks funding there. One of the things I wanted to see talked about a little bit is creating some alternative revenues coming in from our parks department. For example, we have all these programs with our parks department that are like classes that are pay per. And I think creating some sort of subscription service may be a way to raise revenue for user fees.
You mean pay for like an aerobics class?
For like us, yes. So like they have like, for example, at the South Cape Community Center, aerobics classes, at the Art Center, art classes. If you create a subscription service like an annual pass subscription,
But that's not going
Like
to
a-
come out.
like
till-
a
won't raise it-
membership.
yeah, correct. And that won't raise millions of dollars, of course.
That's
And
would
so
you be willing to raise taxes to do it?
I would not. Actually, that's something I brought up here. Is I have the taxpayer protection pledge that I was going to sign here on the show if you guys would let me,
Oh,
because I don't want to raise taxes. So
Okay, so
Let him-
so let's stay on the 100 to 150 million. There's no funding for it now. It's not in the budget. There's a chance that the ad valorem taxes or the
Yeah.
appraisals on the homes in Cape
Cape
Coral will
Coral.
be zero, be
Yeah.
flat. So you're not going to be able to get extra revenue for that. That's a whole different story. So if you want to build something at the yacht club,
I
you
know,
have to
this
come up with money. Where
this
is
is
it?
where we have the most difficulty, right? And this is where obviously, and I applaud our city council for also trying to seek a public-private partnership as well, which is the main way they're trying to raise revenue, but they're having some difficulty with that as well. I'm going to be honest, I don't have a firm answer for that yet. That is
Okay,
something
but don't you think you should? If
I
you're-
absolutely should.
All
No,
right.
and I will definitely look into it, and I will put something out there when I
Okay.
have something. So that's on.
why do you think there was such very limited interest in the public-private partnership there?
I think it has to do with some of the reputation with dealing with the city council and the stress with city government right now, and just all of the backlash. Anytime there's any form of development or any form of partnership, everything gets scrutinized these days, as it should. I mean, when you're dealing with city government, everything should be scrutinized.
Mhm.
And everything. Can you hear me now? Okay, perfect. I apologize.
I tried to tell him to keep
yeah,
the
that's
microphone
on me.
open.
That's on me.
Keep going down here with it.
Hopefully you didn't
Well-
hear hopefully I had it down when I was answering.
But thank you guys for being interested. Come on
Well,
now, speak up.
So yes, so I'll repeat the question. I'm sorry. I just-
No. We were talking about why there was such
yeah.
very limited interest, and you said you think it's because the
I think-
groups find it difficult to work with the council.
I think the scrutiny that comes with working with city government from the public, which is always necessary, I believe, and the stress with dealing with city government are probably the two main reasons.
That private. Mhm.
Yeah, that we're having these difficulties, and it doesn't really look like we have a real plan with the yacht club right now. So
Well, there's a plan. It's a beautiful plan.
well,
but it's-
we don't have a plan to really get it funded and everything.
yeah, but if you ask Peter Bush, it cost $1 billion. So I mean, that's a lot of money. So, how do you think this current city council is doing? Let's start with who becomes the punching bag during the election season. The city manager. How do you think the city manager is doing?
Look, I like the city manager personally. I have a good personal relationship with him. I think there's been a number of failures that he needs to be held accountable for, especially when it comes to the Parks Go bond and what's been going on with the yacht club.
What are the failures? What do you mean?
So I think when you were dealing with these budget issues, I think even when a few months ago we were talking about, you and me over the phone, about Bimini East and the fact that we lost money off of Bimini East. So it's all these different things, and just the frustration from the public. You do have to listen to the frustration of the public, and so I am wanting to improve. Don't hate him, but I would want to make sure, I think, and that's really the other problem I think we have right now is there's so many people driven by hate of the city manager, of the mayor, of this and this and that. I don't hate anyone. I have a good relationship with the city manager. I have a good relationship with the mayor. I have a good relationship with everyone, and I pride myself on that. But when he does stuff wrong, much like Rachel does and other council members do, they call him out on that, and they make sure he's held accountable. One thing I will say positive about Mike that I really do like compared to other city managers is that most city managers before have tried to steer the council. Mike has developed a habit of trying to get guidance from the council. He may get frustrated with some of the things that they do, and he will express those frustrations, but he does seek guidance from the council. And I have told him, I will tell all of you what I told him, which is that you are one source of information that I get that we should be getting from city council. And I think we get too many council members who put too much trust on the city manager and what they say, that making sure you have a wide variety of sources of information makes sure we as a city council member are doing it right.
Do you think his pay is sufficient?
Obviously it's more than sufficient. I would like it to be lower, but I understand with these contract negotiations, it's a two-way street, and it's as a city council, we act collectively. So I would, like I've said before, I'd prefer if it was maybe $50,000 to $100,000 less. But the contract is what it is, and he's getting paid what he's getting paid. It's up in 2027, so we can talk about possible renegotiations or opening it up to a new city manager, or opening it up to possible recruitment for a new city manager. But that's
so. What is your stance then when it does come up? Do you want to see a new city manager, or do you want to keep Mike?
I would want to open it up for interviews to see if there's other qualified candidates. I think that's fair. I think the people would want to see that. And if Mike is more qualified than the other candidates,
How many people have you spoken to that want that change?
I've spoken to probably a dozen people who are not.
12 people.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of people who are angry at Mike. Now, mind you, I don't think it's all well-deserved, because again, Mike is, as a city manager, does not work for the people. He works for the city council, who works for the people.
Yeah.
And it's the job of the city council to hold the city manager accountable. And that's really where the frustration needs to be directed. And I do think we have many city council members like Rachel who do hold our city manager accountable. And I would be much like Rachel in that regard. When he does wrong, I will make sure to hold him accountable.
And what about the mayor? Are you happy with the mayor?
Look, like I said, I have a good relationship with the mayor personally. There are many votes that he has made. When it comes to stipend, when it comes to JC Park, when it comes to even the food truck court regulations back in the day, a lot of people forget about that one. There's a lot of votes that I did not like. So I will work well with him, but I'm probably not going to vote for him.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Okay. So, dear, do you have...
Are you going to go through the whole...
What?
Are we doing every city council member?
Yeah.
Would you like to
No.
give a grade for every council member?
I would not, because
All right.
I think that these are people I am going to have to work with, and
Yes.
I do have a positive relationship with all of them. I do hope, everyone loves Rachel. We all love Rachel.
Yes.
So
How many times during the show are you going to say?
I'm going to keep bringing her up because I want everyone to link me to her. Exactly.
Yes. So,
What did you bring?
I brought. So I do believe that we need to not raise our taxes, and that's why, of course, the yacht club is such a difficult question, because I don't want to raise taxes. So most people know of Grover Norquist's group, Americans for Prosperity. He does the Taxpayer Protection Pledge. So I'm going to sign this here, and it needs 2 witnesses. So I hope you guys would be willing to witness for me.
It's not going to hold me accountable for anything.
So
Does it have to be? You know what, though? We don't live here, so
Yeah.
does it have to be someone who lives here?
do you realize that if you sign that, whatever you want for the yacht club will be zero? Like,
It's going to be, look, I am making this commitment now that I think it's important to protect our tax dollars.
Yeah.
I don't want to sacrifice the yacht club. I really don't. But
you
I
can't,
will.
but Sean, you can't have it both ways.
I know, you're right. So if I had to choose, I will protect our tax dollars, unfortunately,
All
at
right.
the expense of the yacht club. But that is not, I will do with our city council whatever we can to find alternative forms of funding to bring the yacht club back.
Maybe you can go through that 300-page budget and find some
Yes,
more stuff.
I am sure. For our operations, we probably only need about $500 million for general operations.
Okay.
We have a $1.5 billion budget.
Now, how do you
Well,
come
there
up,
you go. You found $1 billion bucks.
how do you come up with that? How do
I
you-
actually, I was a few months ago, I had a long conversation with Tom Shadrack, everyone who's a budget whiz kid. He's much better at it than I am, obviously.
Does he live here? In
He
Cape
lives here in Cape Coral. He's in our district. He is a very good friend of mine. I supported him when he ran for mayor.
You think he's going to wind up running?
I really hope not. I don't want to look.
Because he's in your district.
He is in my district, and not only that, he's a very good friend. So I really don't want to beat
You'll
him.
kick his ass in the election. Come on, man.
No, look, I love Tom to death. I have told Tom I want him to advise me on the budgetary issues.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been doing that because he's waiting to see what he wants to do. I am hoping that he doesn't run. I'm optimistic that he doesn't run because I know, his wife really wants to have a little bit more freedom that she wouldn't have if she was in the political spotlight.
So
but
his options are he could run for mayor.
I honestly think, look, I think Tom running for District 1 is a downgrade for him, given his skills and abilities, and given the fact most people don't realize the mayor has the ability to have a line item veto. This is something that is right up Tom's alley as someone who's a big budget guy.
The mayor
mayor?
I don't think that's
yes,
true.
he does. If you check the city, yes, I will show you. I will send you. Yes,
I don't
look
think
at the
that's
city
true.
charter.
I'm trying to look at Rachel to see if that's
Rachel,
true. The
yep.
mayor can have
Mayor has
a line item veto.
veto.
I didn't know that. Wow, that's
so
weird.
So think about this with Tom. If for people who know Tom, who knows Tom's stance on the budget, and I'm very much in support of him being a budget hawk. Imagine him with the line item veto pen. All right. That to me, if he really wants to make a difference, if he's really serious about the budget, he would run for mayor, not District 1.
So if he ran for mayor, I'm guessing that would be your vote.
That is a hard decision for me. Honestly, probably. But I have known Richard Leon for several years.
Yeah.
Me and him go way back. And Richard is much more fiscally conservative than people realize. And I know he might be willing to use the line item veto.
In the experience that you've had, have you ever seen a mayor?
I have not. No one's ever used it. And I've been around since my Sullivan, actually, John Sullivan. So I don't think anyone in the 15 years that I've been around has used the line item veto. But I know Tom would definitely use that line item veto, given his frustrations with the budget.
He'd need 9 pens. They would all run out of ink. So in a race between the current mayor, by the way, we have the mayor on our show this Monday again. Mondays with the mayor is 5:00. And it actually came out to 2 pages of questions with so much going on. So I hope you guys can tune into that. But in a race between Mayor Gunter and Rich Leon, how do you think that plays out? If it comes down to that,
I think Richard wins. Look, and again, with all due respect to Mayor Gunter, I was very shocked to see that he was going to run. I think with the stipend in J.C. Park, anyone who's an incumbent has sort of a poisoned well. That's why I think Bill is not running. And that's why I think Keith is not, or seems not to be running as well, even though honestly, Keith has become so much of a fighter. He's the reason that we got the rollback rate. He is, ever since I guess he decided not to run, he's done a complete 180.
Yeah, he's burning the house down. He's burning the house down on the way out.
Like, I'm taking everyone down with me, and I am here for it. I know Keith. I've become a secret fan of Keith Long for sure. He's been quite the fighter. So I'm shocked he's not running, because I think if he did decide to run, he actually would have a chance if he decided to run, given all of this. But I think Bill realized that there was a lot of negativity with some of his votes, and made the decision to not continue. And then I think John still feels like he has a chance for whatever reason. But I just feel like there's a lot of negativity there. But there's still a lot. John Gunter, Mayor Gunter.
Oh, gotcha.
But I do think, the mayor does have a lot of support in certain circles. That might be a lot of the reason why too. So he could definitely look. My first race for mayor was John Sullivan versus Marnie Sawicki. And for those that don't remember, that Marnie Sawicki was a progressive Democrat. Now she's actually running for governor of Michigan.
Yeah.
But she ran against John Sullivan, and it was a 5-6 person race. And John Sullivan, like Mayor Gunter, was very unpopular. And so it was whoever was going to get on that top seat was going to beat the mayor regardless. And so that's where I think we're at now.
What you're saying has nothing to do with your campaign, but I do enjoy the history.
Yeah.
But just to be fair, I mean, I did see I know people like to say he's unpopular, and the stipend thing may be the thing that cost him election. But I did go and see his election kickoff. He didn't look unpopular. There was a lot of important people there. When you guys see how much he raised in that just from that one get together, and I don't want to sound like a kiss ass to any of the candidates, but I mean he's not totally unpopular, and he does run a fairly good meeting. I think there are some things that I wish you would do differently, but I'm not a politician. But the business, I think that looking at it from an outsider, I think the meetings are run efficiently. I do. I mean, what I would like to see more of is get rid of that light thing. When they flash the lights, everyone's got they have to talk to themselves by themselves. Yeah. I want to see them talking amongst each other more. I would like to see more debate between the people that are sitting up there. The light comes on and then Rachel talks. That's 14 times during the show. The light comes on and then Bill talks, and nobody talks to each other. It's like there's no conversation. It's all one dimensional.
Yeah. That would be an interesting way to do that. And I would say I do
like
think,
a round table.
Yeah, I like that idea too. I would also say I think he gets a little too butthurt over applause as well. I don't think that's as big of an issue. But I think you're right. One of the things I will say positive about Mayor Gunther is he always tries to seek consensus from the city council. And so that's where his direction generally goes. And he always waits till the end to express his opinion so as not to sway the decision. So I have some respect for Mayor Gunther, but at the end of the day, I look at what he voted for. I look at his record, and it's not my favorite of a record. But again, if he gets elected, if he gets reelected, I will absolutely work very well with him. Okay. We'll try to find common ground on areas that we need to work on.
Yeah, and lastly on that, he does know his stuff. I mean,
no.
Well,
that's without a doubt.
Are we talking about him?
I'm just sometimes.
All right. So what are the top 3 things that you prompted you to get in here and run? What
So the main thing really came down to watching my the neighbors here, my friends, just not being listened to on the city council. And coming from a customer service background, I deal with angry people all the time. And so I can deal with angry residents, and, people like Julia are like a dime a dozen for me at my job, at my call center.
Like who?
Like Julia, like the people at the Take Out the Trash committee who are always the aggressive ones. Those are people they don't sway me. They're not someone who frustrate me, because I deal with people like that every day at the call center that I work at. And so I wanted to bring my customer service experience to the Cape Coral City Council. I wanted to show and come here and serve the people of Cape Coral. This is a community, my family moved here when I was 3. I grew up here. And especially now, we need people who know the city as the city grows, so that way it grows uniquely Cape Coral. That's my second reason to run. And again, I feel like I have an immense knowledge of the policies that are affecting our city, and I believe I can make a difference and in the city that I love and serving the people.
Do you want
now? Let me just. You got a bunch in. So you're talking about that people are unhappy. We also hear about transparency. Do you think things are transparent? Do you think that needs to be more? What would you do?
I mean, I know that I have a different experience than others might have. Whenever I do a records request, I get it very quickly. I mean, mind you, I have a very good relationship with Kimberly and the people at the city clerk's office. So that might be part of the reason, but I have never personally had an issue with transparency. Again, there are times where.
Do you hear that from other people?
I do hear that. No, I do hear that from other people. I do know some people who've made requests and haven't gotten all the information that they want, or have gotten information that was blocked out for whatever reason. And I do think we also have an issue. And this has been not just with this city manager, but other city managers, where they're giving selective information, which is again why city council needs to do their own research and look at other sources of information so they have the entire.
What do you mean selective information?
So, for example, this is a few years ago. I don't think Mike was actually the city manager at the time, but for the most prominent one that I remember is when they were discussing buses. They were wanting to bring in school buses for Oasis charter schools, and the city staff primarily brought information on one sort of bus. I don't remember if it was diesel or electric.
Okay, but I don't mean to interrupt you, but how is that relevant to the current city manager? I mean,
it is. No, it isn't. But what I'm saying is that again, city manager and city staff is just one source of information.
Yeah.
And so as a city council member, we have a duty to make sure we have all the facts, and that means, listening to the city manager and getting their information, but listening to other people and other experts in the field as well.
Like outside the government.
Outside of the government. Yes, correct. Yeah. So government is just one source of information. Government doesn't always get it right. Bureaucracy doesn't always get it right.
Well, you are elected to be the person to make the calls and make the decisions.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to have all the information.
And so you're saying that you would, look for all of the information. How much time do you think you're going to need? I mean, are you going to work in addition?
I've
If elected?
I've said before, the salary at city council is higher than my current customer service salary, so I can live very comfortably on that city council salary. So I would work. My intention is to work full time for
The city council.
Work full time as a city council member. Correct. I'm single. I can live very comfortably off of $42,000 a year.
Where do you own a house?
Yeah, I rent. So, but yes.
Where? Oh, you live in District 1.
Yeah, I live in District. I rent in District 1.
You sure you didn't just move there?
No. I have been in District 1 for at least 5 years since right after COVID is when I moved in.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're out of time, but tell everybody, give them your sales pitch on why they should vote for you.
So if there's anything you take away from my campaign is that I am running to serve you. If you go to sean4capecoral.com, SEANFOR, capecoral.com, there's a way for you to contact me. I want to hear what issues matter to you and what are your ideas for solutions. Again, at the end of the day, it's about serving you. And like I said, sign the Taxpayer Protection Pledge. So you saw that here. You're all witnesses, but I'm going to need 2 people to sign it for me for that sake.
Oh, I'm sure
But
Amy will sign it for you.
I'm sure we have a few people who will be willing to sign, of course.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say thank you for having me, Ed, and thank you for being here. Come from all the way from Fort Myers Beach and bringing this here to
Look
Cape
at
Coral.
us all the way over here.
You're always so nice to us.
You are.
I love what you guys are doing here. Someone who did this with Cape Coral Council Watch. It's good to see another organization, getting the word out.
Now, when you do get elected, are you still going to talk to us? Or are you going to be
of course,
too,
no. Yeah, we'll do district. We'll do Tuesdays with District 1.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Absolutely.
All
you
right,
guys have a
thank
great
you.
day.
Big hand for Sean Hartman, everybody, running for District 1 here in Cape Coral. And just another reminder, we do have Mayor Gunter on Monday night at 5 o'clock. And so we appreciate you guys coming out, watching the show. And I see Tom has answered that the nice lady that's running the community fridge is not trying to do it the way it was. So I appreciate being corrected. I wasn't 100% sure. I hope I said that I wasn't 100% sure, but they are trying to work out solutions for that. And I'm sure they will work out a solution for that. It seems to be a lot of interest in keeping that going in any way they can. So thank you very much, Tom. And good luck in your race, Tom, with Sean, because he's pretty confident that he's going to win this race. So thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate your time. And thank you to Amy Ginsburg for coming on the show. And remember to go to Cape Arts.
Cape Arts Network.
Cape Arts Network on Facebook. We'll see you Monday at 5 o'clock online. Thank you and bye-bye.